Reasons why dirty hair grows faster than clean hair. It doesn't. Wash your hair.
Hi, I'm Essie and you're welcome to my channel where the conversation is real and Essie's got the tea. This would be a part 2 to my video, the glorification of dirty hair in the black community. I should have made this part 2 last week, but I was making more research on the historical aspect of the topic. But today's video would be about the comments I saw. It's not a bad comment actually. Before we go right into the video, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up, and most importantly, please turn on all post notifications so you get notified when this beautiful Nigerian African queen makes a new video. Also, if you've not seen the part 1 of the video, kindly check it out. I'm going to leave it in the cards somewhere up, all right, for you to check out to get at least a hint of what this video or where this video is headed. Now, this comment was made because I said black people shouldn't go months without washing their hair. So this person mentioned a few of their favorite YouTubers because, you know, they are popular and they actually know their tea on natural hair, that I should tell it to them that they are able to grow their hair while not washing it and leaving it in protective styles for long. So this is the comment. I'm also going to leave it on the screen for you to check out. So he said, tell it to Shinwo Kimi 6 months, My Natural Academia 2 months, Obaya Jones 6 weeks, Eugenia Kelsey 6 weeks, Green Beauty 1 month, Lindsay Chris, Fairy Fro, the Igbo girl in me is coming out, Fairy Fro Mother 1 month. Alright, this is the first comment I'm going to be addressing. And those who are under 1 month are excused. I'm going to explain why, the more we get into the video, why I am saying they are excused. The first thing I want to address is these are amazing YouTubers. Green Beauty is one person that I really respect on the YouTube space. She knows her tea, she's actually very intelligent, and I really love her. Then Shinwo Kimi, I love her because, you know, I talk about protective style a lot, and she's just one of those people who actually knows her tea when it comes to black people growing their hair. She's actually good. I respect them. But the thing is, the fact that your favorite YouTubers, this is something you all should understand. The fact that your favorites are doing it doesn't make it the standard, doesn't make it the right thing. That is one thing I want to address. That your favorite content creator, influencer is doing something, that doesn't make it the real deal. Do you understand? Even though they know what they are doing, doesn't make it the real deal. Like for instance, when I used to teach about DIYs, I talk about onion juice. I've seen people saying, Esther, I love you, but I am not using onions in my hair. So the fact that Esther is using onions and onions is working for her hair doesn't mean that it's the standard for hair growth or it's the standard for this and that. That is one thing I would love for you to understand. Now, this comment would lead us to the historical and socio-economic factor as to why black people don't wash their hair because they think it grows hair. Okay, this is the part I told you guys I was making research on because I was just so curious as to why someone would stay and not wash their hair because they think it's going to grow their hair. It's from somewhere. This stems from somewhere. So I did some digging to understand. From what I learned, enslaved black people who endured the transatlantic trade, who eventually became laborers, working in farms, crops, doing a sort of, you know, man, people really went through a lot. They went through this, so these people had little to no access to water. Mind you, before these people were taken from their various countries in Africa, they had their own hair care routine because we're going to go there. They had their own hair care routine before they were taken as slaves, right? So when they became slaves, they had little to no access to water. They had little to no access to hair care products, which led to infrequent washing of hair. This whole thing gave birth to the whole not washing frequently grows hair, because the hair is not used to being in a protective style from not having access to a simple thing as water or hair care product. So they had to resort to not washing their hair as often until maybe months or weeks when they finally have access to maybe a tiny water to use on their hair, and that is when they wash. And so this gave birth to the whole ideology that they have to wash infrequently and it will lead to hair growth. So for Africans who remained in Africa, right, remember they already had like a hair routine. That is the use of clay, oils, butter, herba, whatever in their hair. So these are like their own indigenous hair care practices before the whole European colonization and the whole impact of colonization started kicking in. Black people already had their own routine, and their own routine also involves infrequent washing. So instead of using water, they'll rather use clay, or they'll use herbal infused, products. Just like we have that Shibi powder from Shad. they use shea powder. So this is one of the examples of black people using malt clay, bentonite clay, shea butter, palm kernel oils, all those, you know, should I say olden days, you know, products in their hair. So this is like the black people's sophisticated hair care routine. But since those who were enslaved, they didn't have access to this, it also led to people not washing frequently. And those who are even in Africa, they do not wash frequently because they have their own method. They have their own hair care practices. Do you understand? But let's not forget that those olden days, like our forefathers, they did some wild shit. When I mean wild shit, maybe some would even go without bathing, and they just had limited access to some things. And also there are some regions in Africa where the water were not good. Right? Even to today, there are some regions you go to, there are some places you go to in Lagos, Nigeria, where I live, the water is not good. So those people who have those regions that have bad water, people don't use the water in their hair or anything. This gave rise to the use of European beauty routines, and black people started adopting and assimilating this European hair care method, which involves the use of shampoos and the rest of them. So in as much as we had our own hair care practices, black people who remained in Africa also wore protective styles because they want to wear that protective style to reduce build-up. Now imagine wearing a protective style for months or for weeks because you believe that it's going to reduce build-up, and it also helps detangle their hair. They don't have to handle their hair all the time. So they had to resort to wearing protective styles to reduce build-up and to reduce tangle in the hair. Now the crazy thing is, if you wear your hair 1 week, 2 weeks, you start noticing, once you scratch your scalp, you start noticing build-up. And these people were using clays and heavy products in their hair back then. So the thing about this whole history, it has become like some sort of like a culture that we've cultivated as a collective, and this whole thing is being passed to generation to generation. Someone didn't just wake up and decided that they don't want to wash their hair. In a nutshell, balance is key. Now we have knowledge. Now we, as the newer generation, we have access to water. Not like what our ancestors went through. They didn't have access to water, or some of them just don't want to wash their hair. We have access to water now. That is why I said balance is key. So even if you don't want to wash your hair at all as a black person, I also love to add that on this channel, whenever I say black people, I think that some people take this out of context. They always think that I'm referring to non-Africans. When I say black people on this channel, I'm referring to every black person, whether African, African American, Black American, Afro-Latina. When I say black people, if you're black, I am referring to you. So I don't know those people who was always misunderstanding when I say black people. And some of them will start attacking me like, oh, Africans, you all do this. Africans are the dirty ones. Someone said that in the comment section, that this is African thing. Not washing hair is African thing. Because they thought I was attacking African Americans. But that's not true. When I say black people, and that's why I always love mentioning that I'm Nigerian when I'm making my videos, and I talk about Nigerians in my videos. So please, black people on this channel refers to every black phenotype, if that's how I'm going to put it. Even though you're mixed, you still have black in you. You are black. You understand? So that is what I'm trying to say. Balance is key. Not washing frequently is as bad as washing all the time. So you need to strike a balance. And this has to do with your lifestyle and how your body reacts. Because people who suffer from dandruff, seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis, you shouldn't be going weeks. In fact, 1 week is enough for you to stay without washing your hair. You need to wash your hair weekly. Now, for those who work out, that you know that you're always sweating, at least, even if you're not going to wash your hair in 1 week, then wash your hair at least ideally twice in a month. Now, why I say those who wash their hair once in a month, their excuses, because that is like the max you should go without washing your hair. This is because those who wear box braids, crochet, and all those, the money you use to install those protective style and taking it down after like 2 weeks is over manipulation, because protective style done with extensions is different from protective style done with your natural hair. Using extension is more manipulation to your strands. And if you want to wash your hair in a protective style, as a person who have done that many times, it's risky because it's going to lead to more tangles. In case you don't understand, it's going to lead to more tangles. But eventually, if you want to still wash your hair in a protective style, right, please focus more on your scalp, because that is where the smell is coming out from. Focus on your scalp. You don't have to run the water through the rest of the extension. Focus on your scalp. Apply your sulfate shampoo. I know that I don't talk about sulfate shampoo, but since you've worn the hair for like 1 month or more than that, You should be using something that can deeply cleanse your hair, unlike a moisturizing shampoo that doesn't, do a lot of cleansing. A sulfate or clarifying shampoo should be enough. So 1 month should be the max any person should go without washing their hair. And this is why I always preach about using your own natural hair for protective style, because you can have easy access to it. You can condition it, you can wash it, you can do whatever you want to do to your hair. So this is the historical aspect of Black people not washing their hair, and just how this whole thing came about, how it grows hair because of limited access to basic amenities. Oh, simple. The second paragraph, it says our hair is fragile. Washing frequently makes retention difficult. Are you going to tell that to those who are washing their hair once a week and they still retain length? What do you mean that washing your hair frequently makes length retention difficult? I wash my hair twice in a week, and in all my natural hair journey, my hair has been healthy. In fact, during when I just started natural hair, I used to wash once in a week, and then I started twice in a week. And I do water only wash in between. That is a lie. Natural hair is not as fragile as you all paint it. It just depends on your technique. The technique is the issue here, not your hair. You need to follow a gentle approach when it comes to natural hair, because you have hundreds and thousands of coils on your head. And going through those coils, if you're not gentle while handling your hair, it's going to lead to breakage. And that is the difficulty when it comes to retaining length, because you are not handling your hair with care. The technique you're using in handling your hair is not good. Many of you are always rushing. See, whenever you want to handle your hair, if you can try and romanticize it, listen to music, listen to podcasts, listen to something, distract yourself while you work on your natural hair. Don't work on your natural hair when you're not in a good mood. Natural hair is fragile, and washing it often. So washing your hair once in a week, in 7 days, is often. That is making it difficult for you to retain length. 7 whole days is difficult. Okay, since 7 days is difficult, okay, wash your hair once in 14 days. That is also difficult, and you think, please, this excuse is not excusing, right? Natural hair is not fragile. Natural hair is not difficult. Work on your technique, guys. Work on your technique. That is where we should be focusing on. Third paragraph, strands with a tighter curl pattern is more susceptible to dryness. Okay, it's more susceptible. Strands with tighter curl pattern is more susceptible to dryness from overstripping, okay, fairy knots from rubbing friction movement, breakage from over manipulation, and hydra fatigue from trying to overcompensate for the dryness from frequent washing. Let's start from dryness from overstripping. I understand the part about Afro natural hair or black hair not producing enough sebum to travel down the strands and moisturize it. I understand that. 7 days, or 14 days. When you wash your hair once in 14 days, it cannot strip your hair. It cannot cause your hair to be dry because after washing, you have to compensate by conditioning your hair. You are returning moisture back to your strands. All right, if any you don't want to wash your hair, then pre-poo. I haven't done this in a long time. Use a linear oil before you shampoo your hair if you're scared of that dryness that will come after it. Do you understand? Our hair is more susceptible Our hair is more susceptible to dryness from overstripping. So you mean when you over shampoo your hair, it leads to dryness, which is true. And that is why they're saying wash your hair at least twice in a month. Or for those who want to wash once in a month. Once in a month is not even that nice, but if you want to, it is not overstripping. Leaving oil on your hair 7 days, 14 days, and you're washing it out, it's not overstripping. If it's overstripping, then our skin should be something else, because we wash our skin every day with soap. You're also stripping your skin of oils since you wash it every day. But yet, many people are walking around with beautiful skin looking healthy and all that. So please, say something else. Then he said, fairy knots from rubbing friction movements. Fairy knots. Now, that is why I said technique. The way you handle your hair is important. Yes, Afro hair tend to have fairy knots because of the coils in our hair. That is why whenever you're handling your hair, some people don't have time. Maybe some people who are working class, working in the corporate world and all that, they don't have time. I would advise you put your hair in sections and you handle it from ends to roots. Handle your hair from the ends to the, then work your way to the mid shaft to your roots. And when you're detangling afro hair, you need something to help lubricate your strands, to make it easy for your hands, your fingers to glide through your strands without causing fairy knots. Washing your hair once in 2 weeks, or once and two times in a month, is not going to overnight lead to fairy knots. Before you go to bed, put your hair in like large braids. If you're, some people work from home. Put your hair in like large cornrows. Leave it like that. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to do this. You're not going anywhere. But if you're always working and your hair is out and about, put your hair in like large, cornrow. Or if your hair is very long, put your hair in a pineapple. That is your afro puff. And wrap it with your satin scarf. In the morning, just spray it a little water, which is not really needed, and fluff it. Do you understand? Now you said from friction, okay, breakage from over manipulation. This I always preach on this channel. Over manipulation is when you're always touching your hair, when you are disturbing your hair every single time. Those who are manipulating their hair every single time, for instance, content creators who are always putting out natural hair content every day, that is over manipulation. I've been there before because I used to create natural hair content, like hairstyling content. I've been there. So yes, over manipulation leads to breakage, but washing your hair is not over manipulation. You're literally removing oils and dirtiness from your hair. And you can still wash your hair if it's in a protective style. For instance, I have single plait or single plait. You wash it. It's not leading to over manipulation or anything. You're the one who is thinking it's leading to over manipulation. It is not leading to any over manipulation. Washing your hair is not over manipulation. A simple thing as washing and conditioning your hair is manipulation. But when you do it often, and nobody's asking you to do it all the time, manipulation is normal. When you're styling your hair, you're manipulating it. When you're conditioning your hair, you're manipulating. When you're combing your hair, you're manipulating it. But when you do it too much, you are over manipulating it. This is why I said balance is key. And from Aristotle's golden mean, you should read about that. Aristotle's golden mean is telling you to balance things in life. Don't overdo it and don't underdo it. Keep it in the middle. Do you understand? Balance. Balance is key. Now, the next one is anhydra fatigue from trying to overcompensate for the dryness from frequent washing. Now, I know you all usually associate hydra fatigue to water and anything liquid or water related, but hydra fatigue is not only caused by water. Anything that causes your hair strands to swell or to open and to constrict concurrently or simultaneously is hydra fatigue. And water isn't the only thing that causes it, but because we're so used to the whole water, theory, hydra fatigue and all that, that is what we go with. Actually, I've thought about that before. Anything that swells your hair's cuticle and closes it is hydra fatigue. And washing your hair in 7 days cannot cause hydra fatigue. If you're talking about putting water in your hair every minute, every hour, we can be talking about that hydra fatigue aspect, where it can weaken your strands. But we're talking about 7 days. Even when you moisturize your hair in 2 days, it cannot lead to hydra fatigue. If you moisturize your hair twice in a week, it cannot lead to hydra fatigue. Because your hair will be resting within those days that you didn't spritz water in it because you're trying to compensate. Your hair is resting. If you wash your hair once in 2 weeks, it never lead to hydra fatigue. Heat, using too much heat in your hair, using harsh products, using relaxers, using what else, protein treatments, these can lead to hydra fatigue. When we're talking about hydra fatigue, because you're always associating it to only water, these things can also lead to hydra fatigue if you do them too much. Hydra fatigue only happens when you're always doing it. Like just today, I've spritzed my hair or I've wet my hair like 5 times. We can be talking about hydra fatigue. Not days after, not 1 week after. It cannot lead to hydra fatigue, please. The reason why I find this comment interesting is because of the comment, the last paragraph, where the person said that it grows, but it does the job or something like that. Yes, it grows, but it works. The thing is that you all know that it is dirty. You all know that this is not good. You all know that this stinks. But you're doing it. You are doing it because you believe it works. If they tell many of you, don't bath, it's going to give you golden skin, many of you would do it. As adults, we need to be very self-aware. You all notice I took down my 3 weeks old box braids. It was stinking. Not like it was bad, but I was perceiving it that my hair was smelling. I wanted to wear it for 1 month, but I realized that it was stanking. I couldn't. And I could have washed it, but my hair wasn't looking nice at all, so I just had to take it down. In conclusion, please, dirty hair don't grow fast. What helps you retain length is low manipulation. You can achieve that from wearing low manipulation hairstyles. Large braids, chunky twists, twist outs, all those hairstyles you can achieve length retention. Just the technique is what matters. Anyways guys, that is it for today's video. Do let me know your thoughts about this video. Leave a comment in the comment section, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye.